Hey, what's up, everybody? So, this is my second web chat since my first one, talking about my application shortly. And the reason why I'm making it is because since the first video, a lot of things have changed. The first video was like 3 months ago, and since then, I've gotten so many emails, so many people telling me, how much of an inspiration I am to them, and just so much success with shortly. Right now, it's being represented in 1,000 cities in 100 countries around the world, thanks especially to the iPhone 5C because that expanded the iPhone and where it is. And yeah, it's been downloaded in 35 like official countries. When I say represented, I mean that somebody from London will fly to New York and they'll use it between those two cities. So it's been absolutely incredible. And statistics wise, 70% of all applications on the app stores never gets purchased. And I think that that's by like under 10 people buying it. So to even get above that, it means so much to me. So this video is my thank you to you all for doing that. And I've received all your emails and tried to respond to them as best as I could. But today I just want to talk about shortly and to expand upon the first video and talk about some other things too. And we'll see about this being a series because I do want to keep on talking about business and technology and different things like that. Okay, so with shortly, I've gotten so many questions about how did it begin, how did exactly did I make it, and have I had any struggles or anything like that. So that's what I'm going to talk about mainly in today's video. Okay, so how it began. Shortly began, I had a roommate freshman year. As you can see, I have a single room now. And it began because me and my roommate, we didn't talk often, but when we did talk, we talked about the weather. So I didn't know that I was going to be in a single this year, but I was always thinking about, okay, why isn't there an app that tells you what to wear based on the weather? Why isn't there an app that can tell you what activities you can do based on the weather? It was something that was a big problem for me, I guess, my freshman year, and problem for everybody. So I thought about that, and when the summer came along, I kept on thinking about it. I mean, this was like all in the back of my head. Of course, I'm thinking I've never had a background in computer science ever in my life, so this was something that was very new. So it wasn't even something that I thought that I could do. And I think it was around the middle of the summer. I think my mom said, you should start your own business, and I've been trying for a while now. Trying to. I mean, I've always loved the idea of being an entrepreneur. I'm going to talk a little bit later about why I want to be an entrepreneur, and why Entrepreneur Magazine is my favorite. But she told me, yeah, you should probably start your own business now. So I did that. And how I made it and how I came to learn computer science was there's this incredible course, and I'll hope to leave a link below, um, that's taught by Stanford. It's called Coding Together, and they do it every year between the months of January and April or May, and it's available on iTunes actually, so you can take it for free. I think after the course is over. So it was so lucky that when I wanted to kind of teach myself how to code, that course just ended, and I was able to find it online and be able to take it. So I think they do it every year, and I hope they do it again next year because I want to look through it again. And usually what they do is they teach you how to create an app that teaches you how to make a card game, and that's where they start you off, and then they kind of build from there and they go from there. So I took that course. It's I think 24-hour long videos. I watched every video in an hour. I mean, in a day, not an hour. That would be crazy. In a day, and that kind of led to all the knowledge that I had for computer programming just by that course alone. And then I went to Barnes and Nobles, bought I think 7 8 books that they had on the shelf about iOS development and programming, studied that for a day, and the third day was just putting it all together. And so in 3 days, I taught myself computer programming. So that's how it happened. How I made it exactly, I'm not going to go too deep into it because it is, copyrighted. What's the word? Copyrighted processes. Once you create an app, it's 30% Apple's property and 70% my property. So it's important that I keep that integrity intact. But I worked with the Weather Channel, so that's why the data is so good for this application, is because I work with them, and I hacked actually into their system. They have a API service where you can. A lot of people watching this are probably like, "What the heck are you talking about?" But they have this API service. API, I forget what it stands for, but it connects. So my app, whenever you tap a button that says what you want to wear, it taps to that service, finds the Weather Channel's data in your area, and then works with that. And I created an algorithm that allows it to work with that and different things like that. So that's how, that came into play and perspective. Originally, when I was creating this app, I wasn't even trying to create it myself. I reached out to professors all across the country. I'm going to leave those schools unnamed, because I would email them and they told me that there's no way that I would be able to create an app like that. There's no way an 18-year-old who has no background in computer science is going to be able to create an app, especially in the time frame that I was looking for, which was under 4 months. I did it in a week. So I prestigious universities, even my alma mater, in the future, I emailed them and asked them, and they told me no, that they either couldn't do it or that it was something that couldn't be done, and I did it in a week. So, when people sometimes I get emails and people say, people create apps all the time. What makes yours so different? It's because I did something that somebody said that I couldn't do in a week. And there's not a lot of technological people that look like me in the tech world, and so that's why it's so important for me. One of my biggest inspirations is, this side, Mark Zuckerberg. Social Network is one of my favorite movies of all time. My favorite book, I have it here. Favorite autobiography by anybody is Steve Jobs, by Walter Isaacson. It's one of my favorite books, and these two guys do not look like me at all. So there's nobody really in the tech industry that looks like me, to find inspiration from. You can turn on the TV, I can find somebody that looks like me. I can find authors that look like me, but there's just nobody in the tech industry that looks like me. So that was a lot of force behind why I wanted to do it and where the passion came from for the project. Okay, I'm going to answer a couple questions, just two actually, that I receive a lot in emails that people send me. The first question is, Tywan, what struggles do you have with Shortly while balancing school? This is my favorite question because what a lot of people don't know is that each week, my app, it has bugs in it, and at least 3 times a week, a bug kind of messes up the app, and I have to reteach myself programming 3 times a week. 2 hours each time. So 6 hours a week is dedicated to this application and reteaching myself how to program and trying to find, what's the matter with it. With Shortly, I consider it a business, but I have not hired developers or programmers or anything like that. I'm my own programmer, I'm my own developer. So whenever there's a problem with the application, I have to do it myself. And someone asked, do you have any advice for me? Once again, these are questions that people come up with a lot. You just have to do, for an application, you just really have to do what you feel like you want to see in the world. I mean, it kind of goes back to Gandhi's quote, be the change that you want to see in the world. You have to create an app that you want to see in the world. I'm not passionate about social networking. So creating an app like Facebook or Twitter or even Tinder is not something that I would, be interested in doing. So that's why Shortly meant so much to me, is because I wanted to create a utility app that can help people in the future. And in the future, I do hope to build it and make it more into, a universal kind of utility application. But yeah, you have to be passionate about something, and then you have to work from that. How I did it was I kind of worked backwards. I already knew what I wanted to create as an app. Usually, what people do is they go forward. They teach themselves computer programming, study it 4 years in school, create an application, boom, success from there. I was dreaming about this app for months, and when the week came for me to create it, I did it. So that's how I kind of did it. And I mean, it just depends on your passion and how hard you want to work for it. So that's my advice on that. Okay, so the second topic that I want to talk to you guys about is some of my favorite brands in the world, and also Walt Disney. So many people, send me emails and say, "Oh my God, Mark Zuckerberg must be your..." Okay, my phone went off. Um, so many people ask me, um, who are your biggest inspirations, and they assume Mark Zuckerberg and Steve Jobs. And while that is very true, I did want to talk a little bit about my biggest inspirations. I did read this over the summer. It's the seven bad ASS brands, and it's by Entrepreneur Magazine, my favorite magazine, which has inspired me over the years to create my own business. And my favorite brands is actually Walt Disney. Walt Disney is my biggest inspiration in the world. Since I was younger, I always wanted to go to Disney World, and um, I love Disney Channel, and I loved, just the feeling that you get from, Walt Disney and all his empire. And I don't want to go too much into it, but he's truly my biggest inspiration, and why I want to create a business, and you know why I'm doing what I do. It's important for me to kind of teach young people, to dream impossible things, because this has been an impossible year for me. This has been pretty incredible, of a year, 13, and it's truly my favorite number forever. Other inspirations of mine, Oprah Winfrey's up next, and then Mark Zuckerberg. So it goes in that order: Walt Disney, Oprah Winfrey, and then Mark Zuckerberg, and then Steve Jobs and Ralph Lauren after that. But yeah, so I'm so excited about the next chapter of Shortly, and everything that has come from it. I hope that I helped you guys out, who's ever watching this video, trying to get tips on how to create your own application. I know I didn't get too technical, but what it's about is it's about the passion. It's about the dream. It's about the inspiration, wherever it comes from. My passion was that so many people told me no, that this couldn't be done, and that's what made me want to do it and teach myself in 3 days and then create this application in a week. And even going back looking through it, I'm like, how in the heck did I do that? So you have to kind of dream impossible things. I don't want to get too spiritual on everybody, but the law of attraction is one of the most important guiding factors of my life. I believe that if you dream something and if you believe it, it will happen. I mean, you have to commit action to it, and you have to have a good framework. You can't just think something and make it happen, but you have to dream it for yourself, and then it will come true. So I hope that I answered your questions. I hope that you have more of an insight into what Shortly is, and who I am. I hope to do this as often as I can. I am at school right now, George Washington University, business administration, fighting for Phi Beta Kappa, um, fighting for that honorary degree. So that's where the balance comes in. I think that was the question, the struggles with Shortly. Not only am I doing this for 6 hours, and I'm restudying how to program every week, and I'm getting better at it. I mean, after 3 months, it's kind of become a part of me, how to kind of fix these bugs. But when you have a statistics test the next day, it's like, well then, okay, I have to do both of these. I have to study for both of these, and one is, kind of my livelihood and my business and my life, and the other one is my livelihood and my school and my life. So it's always the balance. But I thank everybody from all the countries around the world, from Kuwait to Taiwan, the 2 people in Taiwan who bought it. I love you so much because that's my name. So it's so cool. Norway, France, Japan, Canada. Everybody in America. So many people from the West Coast now purchasing it since it's the holiday season. I appreciate you guys so much. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope to make more so that everybody can get more of an insight into myself. And thank you just for all the letters. I didn't do this to inspire people or even, have people want to create an app. And I'm glad that I'm able to do that. People find inspiration in the strangest places, and to find it in me, that's pretty strange for me. So I thank you so much. Hope that everybody has a great week or day or night or whatever whenever you're watching this. And I thank you guys so much for all your support. Have an incredible, as I said before, weekday, night, and I appreciate everything that you've done for me. Thank you so much, and stay tuned for more Shortly information. Peace out, guys. Bye.